Alexandre, el conquistador Topuria.
There's a new Topuria in town, and rumor has it he's every bit as devastating as his younger brother. Meet Aleksandre Topuria, the elder brother of UFC star Ilia Topuria. With 5 dominant victories and a flawless 100% finish rate, Alexandre has been making waves of his own, proving that the Topuria name is synonymous with destruction inside the cage.
Con la bandera española y con la bandera georgiana. ¡Saca todos los gauchos! ¡Vamos!
But the UFC octagon is a different battleground altogether. Will this Topuria follow in his younger brother's footsteps and rise to the same heights? Let's take a closer look at Alexandre's journey to find out if he has what it takes to match, or even surpass, the success of his younger sibling. Born on January 28, 1996 in Halle, Germany to Georgian parents, Aleksandre Topuria had that unmistakable fire in him from day one. As a hyper-energetic kid who often found himself caught up in street fights, Alexandre's fiery nature needed direction. So when the family moved back to Georgia 7 years later, his parents enrolled him and Ilia in a Greco-Roman wrestling school, hoping to channel that raw energy into something more disciplined. Alongside his younger brother Ilia, who currently reigns as the UFC featherweight champion, Alexandre honed his grappling skills for nearly a decade before moving to Alicante, Spain, where the two stepped into Clement MMA Club to sharpen their striking and grappling. Within a couple of years, the brothers were ready to take over the MMA world.
He's the next UFC world champion. Maybe he's even better than me.
Wow, that's a scary sight.
Yeah, man. He's a very...
Both Alexandre and Ilia made their mixed martial arts debut on April 4th, 2015. Ilia was the first to make the walk to the cage, and he took less than 4 minutes to dispatch his opponent with a triangle choke. Alexandre followed in his younger brother's footsteps just a few minutes later, but when he returned, he did so with even more style points than Ilia. Seconds into his battle with Andre Chicano, Alexandre ducked under a haymaker and slammed his opponent onto the mat. The next few seconds were a scramble for dominance. Alexandre stayed a step ahead, securing side control before seamlessly locking in an armbar. Chicano briefly flipped the script on the Georgian, but Alexandre was always one move ahead as he snatched Chicano's arm and locked in an armbar from a different angle to make a triumphant entry into MMA. Just a little over a month later, Ilia and Alexandre locked in their second MMA adventure. And once again, they did it on the same card, called Clement Show MMA 4. Ilia co-headlined the card, taking less than 2 minutes to submit his opponent. Alexandre headlined the card against Alejandro Rumin. The fight kicked off with a vicious exchange of kicks, but then Rumin charged in for a takedown, only to get sprawled on and reversed. Alexandre slit through Rumin's defense like a hot knife through butter, but despite locking in a guillotine, he couldn't finish his opponent. Once the fight returned to the feet, Topuria wasted no time securing a takedown of his own. From there, he unleashed a relentless ground and pound assault, all while smoothly improving his position for a full minute. Late in the 3rd minute, Alexandre finally hopped onto Rumin's back and cut off the blood supply with a rear naked choke. That was the last time the two brothers fought on the same card, as Ilia wouldn't see action again for the remainder of 2015. Meanwhile, Alexandre was quick to bounce back, making his return just 3 weeks later against Bulgarian debutante Ivo Ivanov in a dubious featherweight bout, in which his opponent aimed 20 kilograms heavier. Despite the size difference between them, Topuria fought like a raging pit bull, pushing for takedowns in round 1, and even ending up on top position. Round 2 was a grappling galore as well, with Topuria pushing the pace and fighting tooth and nail with his bigger opponent. Unfortunately, a grueling 10-minute grappling battle with a bigger opponent took a toll on Alexandre, leaving him badly winded, and Ivanov crashed onto the opportunity by dropping his foe with heavy fists before finishing him on the mat. The loss dealt a significant blow to Alexandre's progress, as the mental and physical toll of suffering a devastating knockout proved too heavy for him to step back into the cage anytime soon. For the next 6 years, he faded from the spotlight, grappling with injuries and taking a much-needed break. Yet, during this time, he remained a steadfast pillar of support for his younger brother, Ilia, helping him rip through competition across Europe and eventually earn a coveted spot in the UFC's featherweight division. Ilia joined the UFC in 2020, and in just 3 fights, he set the featherweight division on fire by securing back-to-back knockouts against Damon Jackson and Ryan Hall. Ilia's win against Hall was especially impressive, as he outsmarted the BJJ wizard by skillfully dodging his traps and then striking like a tiger lurking in the bushes, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. The result? A brutal knockout that left no doubt about the rising sensation's killer power.
So now Hall can't roll. Now he's stuck in his boom punch. Now he's just letting go. And these are nasty. Hall,
watching his younger brother rise as a hot prospect in the UFC lit a fire in Alexandre, inspiring him to resume his MMA journey and the dream they had envisioned together as children. One of shared glory and triumph began to take shape once more. Just 5 months after Ilia's win over Hall, Alexandre returned to the cage to face Lucas Tenario, and he made an instant splash. Seconds into the fight, Alexandre took a page out of Ilia's book, pressed Tenario against the fence, and dropped him with a missile of a 1-2. From there, he tactically pounded away on the mat until the towel was thrown, and the referee was left with no choice but to put Tenario out of his misery. Alexandre's hype train was back on track and now roaring full throttle as he faced a tough new challenge in the form of Alberto Ibanez just 3 months later.
Aleksandre Topuria!
Alexandre started the fight just like his brother would, stalking his foe with jabs to the head and body and consistently bouncing in and out of range. Midway through the first minute, Topuria went for a wild right hand, but missed by a whisker. A few seconds later, he connected on a second Hail Mary overhand right that landed on Ibanez's chin, rocking his foundations. Topuria even threw in a spinning kick just for the sake of entertainment. But his most dangerous weapon was that deadly right hand, which he unleashed with pinpoint accuracy all night. Just a minute and 30 seconds into the fight, Alexandre connected his right hand twice, dropping Ibanez to the canvas in a flash. From there, Topuria pounded his way to a thudding victory, his 4th in total.
Aleksandre Topuria!
Alexandre's next conquest came in the form of the rugged Frenchman Johan Segas, who came out kicking like someone straight out of a Bruce Lee movie, until an ill-timed attack to Topuria's family jewels paused the action for a few seconds. Once the action resumed, Topuria wasted no time imposing his will, muscling his way into a takedown and locking in the crucifix position. From there, he unleashed an avalanche of unanswered strikes onto Segas, leaving the referee with no choice but to stop the massacre. By the time Alexandre secured his 5th MMA victory, his brother Ilia had already solidified himself as the #1 contender in the UFC featherweight division. Just weeks before Ilia's highly anticipated title fight with Alex Volkanovski at UFC 298, Alexandre added his own chapter to the Topuria legacy, signing a deal with the UFC. With Alexandre now stepping into the UFC spotlight, the expectations are sky high. But Ilia firmly believes that Alexandre has the potential to reach championship heights. In fact, Ilia believes his older brother is even better than he is.
He's the next UFC World Champion.
Yeah, you think he's as good as you?
Maybe he's even better than me.
Wow, that's a scary sight.
Yeah, he's a very, very good fighter, very technical. People will enjoy it with his fights.
If that's the case, then the UFC bantamweights and featherweights might as well pack their bags and head home, because the Topuria brothers are here. And they're not just taking part, they're here to take over. Will Aleksandre Topuria reach the same heights as Ilia? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.